Well, good morning. I hope all of you are doing well. And this morning, what I'd like to do, as you've noticed, Henry is doing Wednesday and Friday. I'm going to be talking on Tuesdays and Thursdays just to encourage us in this time where we are isolated and it is not normal, so to say. And so this morning, what I'd like to read is from 1 Peter chapter 2, verses 11 through 17, and just talk about it. This is what it says. Beloved, I urge you as sojourners and exiles to abstain from the passions of the flesh, which wage war against your soul. Keep your conduct among the Gentiles honorable, so that when they speak against you as evildoers, they may see your good deeds and glorify God on the day of visitation. Be subject for the Lord's sake to every human institution, whether it be to the emperor as supreme, or to governors as sent by him to punish those who do evil and to praise those who do good. For this is the will of God, that by doing good you should put to silence the ignorance of foolish people. Live as people who are free, not using your freedom as a cover-up for evil, but living as servants of God. Honor everyone, love the brotherhood, fear God, honor the emperor. And so here is Peter's call to those Christians who have been dispersed throughout the Roman Empire. In the midst of the difficulties, they are to live as free people, but they are to live as free people not for the sake of doing evil, but for doing good. And in this day, we are challenged. We are challenged being told by the government that we are to self-isolate. And there are challenges. How far do we go in obeying our government? You know, the parks are closed. But will anybody know if we go? The playgrounds are closed. But what's the harm in sending our children to just play on the playground? I mean, this is in our home and a struggle. We see the playgrounds. Our kids would love to use the playgrounds. But what would an unbeliever think if we, as believers, just let our kids play on the playgrounds? And here, 1 Peter 2 directs us on how we are to respond. We are to do good. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if you noticed this, but most believe Peter is referring to Matthew chapter 5 about being salt and light in this passage when he says this in verse 12. Keep your conduct among the Gentiles honorable, so that when they speak against you as evildoers, they may see your good deeds and glorify God on the day of visitation. That they may see your good deeds. This is our goal in all of our life, and especially now. And did you notice that in verse 12 it says this? When they speak against you as evildoers. We're not living honorably before them and being obedient to the government so that they won't speak evil. No. We understand that unbelievers will speak evil of us. Yet we are to honor those in authority. And we are to do our good before them, so that even when they speak evil of us, they will give glory to God for the good that we do. And what is the good that we are to do? To be salt and light. And in this time, just as in other times, we are told, be subject for the Lord's sake to every human institution. And I know in this time, it is challenging. It is challenging because we see at times people governed by fear. And yet, for the sake of our neighbor, for loving our neighbor, more importantly, for the hope that we will get to share the gospel with our neighbor, we are called to do good. We'll respect the social isolation. We'll keep our distance. We'll live godly lives so that our witness is not ruined. But most importantly, so that they will give glory to God. So as we struggle through this with what we can do and what we can't do, let us be mindful in everything. The reason why we submit ourselves to the institutions that govern us and so that God is glorified, so that there is opportunity to declare the glory of God to those who will speak evil of us. I hope that is encouraging to you. I hope that is challenging. I know for me it is, because, like I said, I see those playgrounds. I know my children would love to climb and to play. And yet, for the sake of the gospel, we will not do it at this moment, so that the gospel will go forth, so that we won't ruin our witness, so that God is glorified in how we respond. May God bless you as you continue to live for Him in these trying times.